YouTube, audio checking 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Audio test, Central Georgia Technical College versus Gordon Tech, or Gordon State College. Audio check. Hello and welcome in to the Titans YouTube channel, live here from Macon, Georgia. Alongside Craig Lawson, I'm Luke Winstall. Thank you all for tuning in. Central Georgia Technical College taking on Gordon State College, and we are underway. Central in the white uniform. Pierce goes in and gets a bucket right off the bat, Craig.
Luke, you and I were talking in the pregame. You spoke with Central Georgia Tech's coach Dawson, and Central Georgia Tech coming off their first conference win against Albany Tech at home, a big win this past weekend, and looking for Dominique Pierce to be more aggressive, taking the ball to the basket, and there we see that on the first drive.
Well, the first play from Gordon State College, Janile Hill, sophomore point guard, scores. He is no stranger to doing that, averaging 22 points a game, which is number 15 in the country for Junior College Division I.
Leads the GCAA in scoring, and it's going to be a tough matchup for this Titans defense at home.
Drame inside, gets it for two.
Early emphasis for Central Georgia Tech on just putting the ball on the floor and getting to the bucket.
Well, today those wings, Drame and Pierce, are going to be huge factors. Teams are pretty equal at the guard spot. Pass intercepted. Here comes Drame working in transition. He lays it in.
Nice play by Drame. Cutting into the lane, getting two easy buckets here to start off with, and it's like Gordon State wants to talk it over.
6-2 early for Central. Craig, off to a good start here today.
Yeah, and Gordon State and Central Georgia Tech, they really have battled this. The GCAA, there's a lot of parity in this league, and Gordon State is a team that always gives Central Georgia Tech trouble. Has even beaten them on more than one occasion in years where Central Georgia Tech has won the conference. So it's always a tough matchup, and but the Titans off to a hot start so far tonight.
That is for sure, taking that defense that in terms of points allowed per game this year has been top 10 in Junior College Division I, taking it to Gordon State early.
Big emphasis on length this year for the Titans.
Smith drives and gets it to fall.
Nice drive there by Sean Smith going into that length, and really a tough finish.
A lot of today's game is going to be decided by who wins the battle of paint points for Central. That's the focus early on.
Central Georgia Tech has seen a lot of zone defense, 2-3, 1-3-1. It looks like tonight Gordon is coming out in a 1-2-2 to start off.
Well, Craig, talking pregame, one thing Gordon State brings on the defensive side is they like to mix things up. They'll go man, they'll go zone, but they like to give you a lot of different looks throughout the game. Shot clock down to 10. Danak bounces it outside. Smith collects it and can't sink the J.
Using all the shot clock there.
Hickman on the right side, couldn't get it. Offensive rebound for Central, put back good for Scott.
Nice offensive rebound and put back for Scott.
Danak with the right hand. Hill steps into a three, back iron.
Titans fortunate there, second chance look for Hill. He's not one you want to let step into a three-point shot.
He's one of those guys that it's been a fast-paced game early, but Hill on the Gordon State side is someone you have to identify. Tipped and stolen.
Gordon State looked like they were in a 2-3, almost a 2-1-2 look zone defense on that last possession. Titans going to stick with man, though.
Jenkins working on Drame. Smith, shot clock under 10. Hill gets it to go.
Gordon State almost had the turnover there. It was sort of a sloppy possession, but Central Georgia Tech collapsed, bodies on the floor, and not able to recover defensively, and Hill's able to step into a three.
Drame spins, 10-foot shot, hooks in.
Nice shot for him. Got a little confidence. Sometimes all it takes is seeing the ball go in the basket early. You got two easy layups and then able to step a little bit further out and make a tougher shot on that possession.
Drame now at 6 points, leading all scorers early on. Smith steps back, high jump shot, in and out.
been a tough shot if he made it.
Pierce passes it out of bounds. Sophomore turns it over, Gordon State ball.
And that is the stuff that really frustrates Rico Dawson is the no pressure, no reason, just kind of, you just, it's a checkout, it's a mental checkout turnover. So we'll look to get that corrected as Hickman goes down.
Hill, corner three, short.
You know, it doesn't really matter, but as the kids play these days, you don't want there to be a crossover and the guy make it. So Hickman fortunate there.
Vance blocked by Danak on the block. That was some of those errors for Central. It's part of why they had in conference play a 4-game losing streak to begin. They just broke that on Saturday against Albany Tech. But that's really been the story of the season for them, just some of those unforced errors. But now they've been trying to clean those up. Layup goes for Jenkins.
Yeah, nice slash there by Destin Jenkins, and no somewhat poor help defense there for Central Georgia Tech.
Drame couldn't get that through contact, out of bounds, and it'll be Central ball.
Danak so far in this game has done an excellent job of altering shots, especially in the last couple of possessions. And he had the block shot on the last possession against Vance Jr. and definitely altered that shot by Drame.
3 subs in for Central: Montavious Terrell, Truett Spencer, and Jaquan Gatling. All 3 of those guys on opening day were in the starting lineup. Now all 3 coming off the bench. Gatling, because of performances not being quite as good early on, but for the 2 guards, Spencer and Terrell, 2 of the top scorers for this team, coming off the bench. It's been an adjustment for them. It's helped them take a couple of minutes to watch the game flow, and they've checked in, and when they've done it in the past, been very successful with it.
Those are 2 guys that were instrumental in last year's conference championship run, the third straight of its kind. Wow, heck of a rebound there.
Drame fouled on the way down. On the way down, was able to take a dribble too to try to avoid a travel call.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. Drame somewhat fortunate to not get an over the back call, but was able to get up high enough over the opposing team.
Spencer with the ball. It's been fascinating to watch him, especially in the second half of games, be able to take over of late. Pierce couldn't get that finger roll.
Pierce again, just it seemed like he had kind of an awkward path to the basket. Should have been an easy finish.
Good matchup in the post here for Baker. He passes it off to Danak. Out of bounds. Central ball.
Nice job there by Gatling. Hands straight up. Able to cause the turnover. I hope they gave him a steal for that.
6 minutes in. Spencer, one of a few guys for Central, averaging over 10 points a game, passes it over to Terrell and gets it back. Central working deep into the shot clock again. 4 left on it for Drame. Spins, tipped away. Gatling forced to put it up and couldn't get that to fall.
Actually a pretty solid look for the sloppiness of the possession or at least for the last 5 seconds there.
Hill, step back, long 3.
Hasn't quite got going yet. Stepped into one earlier.
At 5 points early on, Terrell slings it outside for Drame, and he nails a 3. Almany Drame knocking it down. 4-point lead for Central.
And a nice fine drive and kick out by Montavious Terrell, the sophomore.
Terrell does a really good job of that penetration, sometimes in a dribble drive look, swings it outside and shows off his vision. Danak fouled.
Yeah, Terrell's really had some highlight assists this year, and even some passes where you hate to see it's a great pass and it might not get finished on the offensive end, but definitely one of the top passers on this team, if not the most talented passer for Coach Dawson.
Danak couldn't get the first free throw. Now Errol White, the hero from Saturday's game against Albany Tech, is back in.
Yeah, the second wave of subs before we see White, but definitely had a huge game against Albany Tech. Queens, New York.
Terrell handling on the offensive side. Pierce loads up a three, and he can't get it to fall.
I don't think Coach Dawson will be upset about that look. He was able to step into it in rhythm. Didn't go down, but
nearly turned over under the basket. Central running with it. No look past the Spencer. Contact on the way up and taken away.
White looks like he injured himself on that last play. I'm not sure if it's his ankle. He's hobbling really on one leg. Coach Dawson got a sub in.
Might be that right ankle giving him trouble here. If you're Gordon, you maybe try to look to expose that.
Yeah, I'd be going right at one if I had the opportunity. He is from Queens, though, so on one leg, he's still pretty tough.
Isolation for Hill. He lofts it up and gets it off the window.
And that's why if you're Central Georgia Tech, you don't want to see that guy get going. Even though he banked that in, that's confidence. That's the leading scorer in the league. Errol White looks like he's going to stay in. Try to fight through it.
White inside to Gatling. One dribble, spin move, and the shot won't go.
Solid defense by Danik again underneath. Here, Coach Mincy telling Errol White to suck it up. Nice close there, actually, for the young man who's still visibly limping up and down the floor. Coach Dawson not wanting to use a timeout or spend a foul to get him out of the game.
11 to play until halftime. Terrell's got it. Terrell and Hill, two of the top scorers for these teams. Terrell, top of the key, couldn't get it. Danak picks it up.
Nice offensive rebound there by Gatling. Terrell just loses the handle, headed to the basket.
Getting into a bit of an up-tempo ball game here. Blocked away by Danak, out of bounds.
Kind of a tough position for Terrell. Definitely undersized up underneath the basket with Danik, who's been altering and blocking shots a lot so far. We're not even 10 minutes into the game. It's like Errol White's headed to the training room.
Terrell, Drame fouled on the alley-oop attempt. Wow.
Yeah, that was actually, I think if you're Gordon State, you'll take that foul because that was looking like it was about to be a dunk that was going to perhaps have the Titans bench going wild.
When you watch Montavious Terrell, especially when he's handling at the top of the key, he's so nonchalant. He'll hit you every once in a while with those no-look passes or just a random alley-oop attempt.
Lulls him to sleep.
And that he does.
He does have this laid-back look in his eye, and then all of a sudden he's throwing a dagger right past your eyeballs.
Layup for Jenkins. It's a one-point game.
Nice finish there. Gordon down early, fighting back.
Drame, 7 feet away. Got his own rebound.
Danak out of the game now for Gordon. See if Central Georgia Tech tries to attack the basket since he's their best rim protector.
Spencer short on the three-pointer. A lot of energy on the defensive side for Gordon, especially on that possession.
Absolutely, that was a great defensive possession.
Jenkins splits a pair of defenders in the lane, and one.
Yeah, it's just too easy. Got by him with the first step, put the defender on his back, shoulders past shoulders, and easy finish.
Jenkins at the stripe, looking for the three-point play. Now for Gordon State, on the season overall. Their identity, their team is very young, and Hill is a sophomore point guard, one of the few veterans that has really helped the team along. But both teams are young in that freshman aspect overall.
Shalomo Soba into the game for Coach Dawson, seeing his first minutes. He was pretty effective in the paint against Albany Tech over the weekend.
Terrell, cross-court pass, Spencer. Yes, sir, Spencer knocks it down from deep.
That is a big indicator for this Titans offense. If they're seeing three-pointers go in, then that's going to really open up the floor for their offense in general.
Spencer now, or Central, having 2 of 6 from 3 today. That shot made on the left side for Gordon by McDonald.
Nice driving finish by Jaheim McDonald.
Drame. Saba, Terrell on the outside. Euro step layup goes for the sophomore.
Nice finish and fake by Terrell. Hit that big bucket on Saturday to seal the win in overtime against Albany Tech.
Out of bounds off the shot from Hill. Pierce comes in, but that Albany Tech game went to overtime. Coach Dawson said at the end, coming out of the timeout, he knew Terrell would have the ball in his hands, handling it. He said, all right, Montavious, win it for us. And Montavious did. A layup on the left side for the victory. He's the first in conference play this year.
I gave him credit for finishing with his off hand, but I was talking to Coach Mincy after the game, and he reminded me that Montavious is, in fact, left-handed.
Osaba with the last bucket for Central.
Still an excellent finish, not taking anything away from the young man, but
we see him finish so well on each side of the basket. Jenkins fouled on the shot attempt.
Jenkins has been aggressive driving to the basket as well so far early in this game.
Jenkins, one of the freshmen at the guard spot, very long. A big contributor for this team. First free throw good. Talking with Gordon State's head coach Bruce Capers, he mentioned, of course, Janile Hill is a top player. Varun Danik, the freshman. Danik's very skilled, can score on all 3 levels. We've seen him a lot defensively today. But look for that next time he comes in. He's had a big impact on the game. And, of course, Trenton Gordon, the freshman guard, number 11, is another guy to expect a lot from here for Gordon. It's kind of their big 3. The other guys like Jenkins are more of their role players, contribute elsewhere.
Hickman fortunate there to get it across half court.
A lot of communication on the court. Terrell for 3. Osaba outside. Hickman thought about it. Osaba with a jam.
Nice pass, nice drive, nice find for the easy bucket.
Shalom Osaba throwing it down for Central. It's a 4-point lead for the home team. Now Jenkins on Osaba. Smith drives, fouled. That'll be on Shalom.
Pierce got caught defensively on that possession. Long strides allowed the offensive player to go right by him. A nice drive there by Sean Smith.
Smith at the line. He'll be shooting 2.
Titans really fortunate that Smith didn't finish that.
It was a good drive. He almost had it through contact. 2 fouls on Osaba here, about a little over 13 minutes in. All 3 sophomores on the floor for Central, and they have been for a while now. It's been a pretty good lineup since they came into the game.
Gordon State now applying some full court pressure. Again, mixing it up like you said, and a turnover.
Gordon State and Coach Capers want to throw a lot at you. They know that coming in playing Central, this program traditionally here out of Macon, Georgia, is really good at the dribble drive. They rebound well. They make free throws. They don't want to get into a battle with Central like that and play Central style. Trying to get this Titans team out of their comfort zone as Jenkins drills a three.
Nice shot by Jenkins there.
Very competitive game. Spencer has it for Central. Spencer steps out of bounds. Gordon ball.
Gordon State going on a little run here. Jenkins with that shot is the first Gordon State player in double figures as he leads the team with 11.
One thing that's been especially impressive about the Gordon State offense is through 14 minutes of play, only a couple of turnovers. That shot deflected into the hands of Pierce.
Nice defense there by Osoba.
Spencer lines it up short. Smith fouled by Spencer in transition.
Not a great defensive play there.
Scott will be heading into the game for the Titans. Scott comes in for Spencer. Scott really got into the starting lineup against Albany Tech. I believe that was the first home game that he started in his career. Provided a lot of good minutes, got near double figures in scoring with 9 points. Hill pulls back on Scott. Air ball to three. A little anticlimactic after that move.
Yeah, really an excellent move to create space. Scott doing what he could to try and close out. Another bad foul there for the Titans after a turnover.
When you look at Hill, the shiftiness, the athleticism he has, he's been creating space all day. That was one of the highlights for him, but I think that's an easy part of, or easy way to see why he's got 22 points a game, number 15 scorer in JUCO Division I.
That's the second time we've seen him shake a defender up, but both times unable to knock down the shots so far tonight.
Definitely. Well, when you have a guard that can create for himself in that kind of way and score off the ball, you know you've got a real threat. Jenkins. Jenkins for three. Not that time.
Nice little handoff there by Danik. Jenkins not able to knock it down.
Scott. It'll be Gordon State ball with Vance Jr. checking in.
Just not valuing the basketball in that possession.
Yeah, 8 turnovers now for Central. Overall shooting all right, 39%, but 25% from three. With Vance Jr. coming in, it'll be important for the Titans to try to establish a presence inside. They haven't really done that since early on.
And we'll see if they try to get him going by maybe getting him the ball with his back to the basket, as he's probably the strongest player on this Titans team with his back to the basket, if I had to pick one.
Danik well defended inside. Smith in the corner. 4 on the shot clock. Offensive rebound after McDonald puts it in.
Central just not blocking out after the shot on that possession.
It was well defended until the shot came short there.
Was.
Under 4 to play until halftime, and Pierce tried to pass it to the referee.
Those are those mental lapse turnovers that we were talking about that have seemed to plague this team for stretches this year. It just really shouldn't happen.
Well, for Pierce right now, it's all about keeping things simple and trying to establish your presence as a 3-level scorer. He's got that kind of talent, just hasn't really been showing it lately. It'll be key for him to get in rhythm.
Got off to a solid start with the first bucket of the game, but hasn't scored since.
It'll be Central ball after the jumper comes out of bounds.
Like Drame was about to come in, but sent back to the bench. He's actually leading the Titans in scoring with 11. Most points by far. No one else has more than 4.
Drame putting on a show today. That wing spot is a place where Gordon State's not quite as talented. And there's Pierce, 10 feet away. It's just what you need from him.
Nice to see the elbow shot go in if you're Pierce. Gordon State still in that somewhat unorthodox 2-3, 2-1-2 zone defense.
Jenkins working on Scott. Denick passes it off. Foul called. Now Gordon headed to the free throw line.
Nice drive there by Danick and fine under the basket. Able to take his man off the dribble. Titans had no choice but the foul, Scott. Or pardon me, Gordon.
Yep, Gordon shooting free throws for Gordon State as Drame now comes in for Vance Jr.
As we said before, Drame with 11 points. Titans now in the bonus.
Well, with Drame scoring so well early, 11 out of 26, like you said, it's been a different guy for Central a lot of the time this year, especially in wins. Drame over the top of a defender. We've got a blocking foul. Drame to the line.
That was close. I do believe it was the right call, though. As Jenkins tried to get over and draw the charge. When you see Gordon pressing like that, a lot of times if you can break the press really quickly, you can get a good look at the basket as Drame did there. Drame doing a nice job of knocking down his free throws early. 3 for 3 on the day.
It's been big from Albany. He gets to that free throw line a good bit this year. Hasn't finished it the percentage he would have liked to early on, but obviously today it's been a different story. 28-26, Central ahead.
Yeah, 4 for 4 tonight for Drame, and I think both coaches, seems like Gordon State has really kind of settled into the game, at least defensively. Both teams trying to figure out what they want to do offensively tonight. Central Georgia Tech started out really strongly and has had some inopportune turnovers since.
That is for sure. Now, one thing that will come in really important here as we approach halftime and get into the second half. Whose bench will outscore the other? This year, Central's been very strong off the bench. We'll see what Gordon State has in terms of depth. We know that in terms of their stats, they tend to be more of a top-heavy team, but they'll need more to step up.
Yeah, the bench for Central Georgia Tech in their previous game with Albany Tech that they won in overtime, the bench was the key to the game. They're not even in that game without the production of their bench.
Last week on Saturday, the bench almost outscored the starters. They had about 40 points off the bench almost. Now 2:40 to go until halftime. Both teams looking for a momentum. It's been really dead even through the first 18.
Central Georgia Tech, a very deep team. Coach Dawson still trying to dial in his lineups. Sloppy
Scott
offense.
Working his way down the floor and laying it in.
Nice finish, sloppy offense there by Gordon State.
Gordon State's got a little over a third of their points off turnovers. At that time, Central returning the favor with Scott, who nearly did it again. Denick inside, gets the roll with the right hand.
A nice controlled drive to the basket for the easy bucket for the big man.
Hickman at the reins of the Central offense now. Scott tosses it up, counted and one.
Tough finish by Scott, nice drive. Able to finish through contact and draw the foul as a shot at the three-point play.
Scott, the second leading scorer today for Central, 6 points, a couple of rebounds. He's been giving really good minutes and contributing a lot for this team lately.
I'd like to point out that Errol White is back on the bench for Central Georgia Tech. We have not seen him try to re-enter the game. Hopefully he's okay. Saw him got a little bit shaken up, perhaps an ankle early on in the first half.
Jenkins stops 5 feet away, left it short.
Again, Titans not blocking out on the shot.
Danik dumps it down low, foul called.
Danik's under the basket passing has been impressive so far. And you know what? I'm not the first person to think of this, but I agree with it. If these free throws are made, Danik should get an assist. That's not how they do it, but they should.
It's definitely interesting. Well, one thing with Danik that I've noticed is down low, very calm under pressure. When everything collapses, he doesn't panic. He distributes very well.
You don't have to be a supreme athlete necessarily to play basketball. You just have to be under control and know what you're doing, know what your strengths are, and be able to use it.
Terrell. Scott on the block. Couldn't get it that time.
Gordon State does a really good job of recovering, pressuring you at the half-court line.
Jenkins called for a travel. Central ball.
Jenkins has had a couple of tough offensive possessions on the last few for Gordon State. But he is leading them in scoring. Still with 11.
Hickman blocked by Danik. Out of bounds, Central ball.
And Hickman did a nice job of splitting the double team on that drive, but Danik just is able to get in there and alter shots and gets another block. I think that's about his third of the half.
Hickman puts it in play. Now we're under 30 to go in the first half. Shot clock at 12. Hickman drives to his right, tries to get the reverse.
Really got to the other side of the basket, but just can't get it over the top of the rim.
McDonald didn't get it to fall. Rebound Scott. Plenty of time for Central. Hickman on the open floor, puts it in.
Nice finish there in transition.
Smith lofts one up. That'll do it for the first half. 35-30, Central ahead.
Had a nice look at it there right before the half. Did Smith, not able to put it in. And a nice little run here by the Titans with really about a minute and a half to go, able to push the lead to 5.
Central at halftime led in scoring by Almani Drame, originally from Senegal. 5-point lead for the home team at halftime. We'll be back with more coverage for you on the Titans YouTube channel. Welcome back. Central taking on Gordon College here in Macon, Georgia. 35-30, our score coming out of halftime. 5 points between these two teams separating them. Both looking good in terms of overall conference play. Things are looking up for Central with the way they've been performing recently. 1-4 in conference. Gordon just one rank ahead of them, 3-3 in conference play. The conference victory in the GCAA on the line here in the second half of play.
Again, a lot of parity in this league. We see it year in and year out. From top to bottom, there's not a ton of separation between the teams. Gordon and Central Georgia Tech, typically a tough matchup.
Danak lays it in for the first points of the second half.
He really has been perhaps the most effective player for Gordon State in that first half as they come out in a 1-3-1. I guess it's the same zone they've been playing the whole game, but it switches from a 1-3-1 to a 1-2-2.
Well, in the first half, at times, they had Central off their game on the offensive side. Hickman, 2 on the shot clock. Bang! Hickman for 3.
Excellent ball movement. If you ever watch a Rico Dawson practice, you hear the term reverse the ball a lot. And that's exactly what the Titans did on that possession. Executed perfectly.
Hickman pushes it out to a 6-point lead for this Central team. On the year, Central scoring about 69 points per game, so is Gordon. Offensively, pace each other fairly similarly, but on the defensive side, Gordon feels like in conference play. They've had a lot of their opponents off their game, and they've been able to keep a lot of teams under their normal scoring average. Danak steps out of bounds. Gordon State on the offensive side, turning it over.
A nice defensive rotation there by the Titans. Danak, as I said, highly effective in the first half for Gordon State.
Pierce loops it in. Vance Jr. misses the first layup and gets a second.
Not great for the field goal percentage, but great for the rebound numbers.
Now Vance will take it. 40-32, just like the beginning of the game. Coming out of halftime, Central off with an early run, up 8.
Yeah, not the way you want to start the half. If you're Gordon State coming out after halftime, Central Georgia Tech did have the run to go up 5 at half and has added 5 more to just 1 bucket from Gordon State.
30-second timeout taken. The Highlanders trying to break up the momentum of the home Titans. Central came out with Almany Drame scoring very well. He had 13 points in the first half, 4 of 7 from the field. A trio of rebounds as well. Leading scorer for Gordon State in the first half, Destin Jenkins had 11 points, and Janile Hill was right behind him with 8. Knock on wood here for Central, but Hill has not really gotten into a rhythm. He's made a few big shots, but not in the normal rhythm that he's usually in coming out of halftime.
Yeah, and the coaching staff for Gordon State definitely wants to see Hill get going. They run their offense through him, and as he goes, oftentimes their offense goes.
Well, Central came in, their game plan being to make sure that somebody other than Hill has to beat them. Drame, tough shot attempt. Rebound pulled down by Gordon.
Decent look at it. Kind of falling away to his right there.
Hill lost it.
Just a
Scott
turnover
spin
there.
cycle, gets it to fall.
Nice finish by Scott. 7 points now.
When you look at the stat lines for both teams, Craig, it's been very balanced today, all the way up and down. Good defensive play. Drame blocks it away.
Danak almost lost it. Nice collapse.
Hickman got it and one.
And nice job in transition. Titans really getting out and running and pushing the pace and setting the tone here in the second half.
Hickman only had 2 points in the first half, 5 already in the first 2 minutes, 55 seconds of the second half.
And it looks like Gordon State wants to talk this one over.
Down 12, they'll need to. We'll take the full timeout with the teams and be right back with you. Hickman's at the stripe for Central. They've widened their lead out from 5 to 12 points already here in the second half. Just 2 minutes, 55 seconds of play, and Hickman's helped ignite that.
Hickman doesn't get the free throw to go there to complete the three-point play, but an excellent job of running the floor on that last possession as the Titans continue to push the pace.
Hill on the ball here for Gordon. Down low, Gordon puts it in.
Nice cut there by Gordon and a nice find on the outside by Tyquan Baker.
Vance Jr. gets it off the pass and a foul called.
Dominique Pierce has had 2 exceptional passes into the post, both to Mark Vance Jr. The first one he finished, well, he missed it, offensive rebound, then finished. This time he heads to the line.
We've seen some big gaps down low where if Vance can seal off an area of space, he can get the ball easily, and the way he's been finishing today, he's been either getting to the line or putting them in.
Yeah, and he really can use his thickness to create some real estate down low where you can lob it in safely. As we'll see him take a seat for Osoba.
Well, the ball's in the hands of Hill. Look for Gordon State to try to look to him a good bit to get their team going.
Hickman meeting him at the opposite three-point line, something that Coach Dawson likes to do. Not necessarily trying to get a steal there, just trying to run down the shot clock to give them less time to work with once he gets across.
Hill's got it with 6 on the shot clock now. Hill, step back 3. Osaba collects it away.
Another really good move to get open and get space from the defense, but just not able to knock the shot down was Hill there.
Drame double teamed inside, got the roll.
Nice find again by Pierce there. Drame running the baseline against the zone, able to get the teardrop to fall after a few bounces.
Well, Drame is, I believe, at a career high today.
15 on the day.
Baker gets it to go. Some of his first action.
A couple of nice possessions for Baker, getting the assist on the last bucket. Able to finish there.
Osaba, left elbow, didn't get the jumper.
Nice pump fake. He shot it with confidence. I thought that might be going in. Well, it's like a turnover here by Gordon State.
It'll be Central ball with Montavious Terrell coming into the game.
Hickman was forcing the issue. He'll head to the bench for the aforementioned Terrell.
Pierce. Go ahead, Craig.
Titans so far in the second half avoiding the sloppy turnovers that we saw in the first half. I'm sure Coach Dawson let him hear about that in the locker room at the half.
Terrell directs traffic. Pierce, jump stop, left hand. Here comes Hill.
Pierce wide open on the outside there. Typically you'd see him take that shot, but he's really forcing the issue trying to drive in.
It's been a point of emphasis for him. That shot was deflected.
And nice defense by Pierce there, back on the other end after not getting the shot to finish, getting his hand in there on Hill, causing the turnover.
And Pierce does a lot of things. He's a really versatile guy for Central. Good assist numbers, rebounds well, good on the defensive side. Drame fouled, committed by Ray.
Drame continuing to be aggressive. Really having one of his best performances of the season.
They call him AD, and with the frame and athleticism that Drame has, you can easily see him being a next level type of guy. Just had to grow into it in the skilled aspect, the shooting side of things, and today he's shown a really good flash.
Yeah, I just really think the mentality of calming down and understanding who you are as a player and what you can do and what your role in this team is, and Drame is really stepping into that.
That is for sure. 17 points for the freshman. His squad ahead by 14.
I was going to try to jinx him and say he hadn't missed a free throw tonight. I didn't get a chance to, but he is now 6 for 6.
Tipped away by Osaba.
Nice hands.
Hill under 10 on the shot clock again. Baker trying to back into the post, a spin move, a shot, banks it home.
Wow, a nice finish by Baker. Osaba came over with the help defense. I really thought he was going to block that. Baker able to get it up over the top against a double team, really. Nice finish.
Terrell around that set play from Central. They like to run a good bit. Drame couldn't scoop it off the window.
They had a nice look at it there, not able to put it in. Nice recovery on defense by Gordon.
Baker, Danik, nice shot.
Danik continues to be effective. Seems to be somewhat of a calming force for this team. The ability to make plays in the mid-range underneath, and also an excellent passer.
Yeah, he's really good at taking pressure off Hill as well. That's been one of his big roles on their team. Drame.
We've talked about Hill still hasn't gotten going, and there we see one of those just a mental lapse turnover, unnecessary, really unforced error.
Coach Bruce Capers not happy about that one. He's been playing against Central for a while. He knows this program historically. It's always a good matchup between his teams and Coach Rico Dawson of Central. The strength for Gordon has been defense this season, but right now down 10, they've got to get their offense rolling. A lot of times for the Highlanders, it will start on this defensive side of the ball.
Good news for the Titans. Errol White back in the game.
That is good. We saw him hobbled with the ankle injury. He came out for a bit. Great to see him back in.
Danik got yet another block on that last possession.
Our live stats don't give us block totals, but he's got at least 4. Ray going hard in the paint, out of bounds. It'll stay here. Gordon ball.
I think it might be a foul call up underneath.
Yes, it is.
Looks like it's on Osaba.
Yeah, Ray got drilled down low. It's 3 on Shalom. Shalom Osaba.
Hickman back in the game, as well as Mark Vance.
Danik spins his way into the lane, and he's fouled on a shot attempt.
White got that left hand in there, trying to go for the strip or the block. A little too aggressive. Danik will head to the line.
For Danik, we've seen the defensive presence in the first half. In the second half, looking at more of his skill set. He's a very polished big man, especially looking at the level of a lot of the other big men in the GCAA. A lot of guys are more raw. But Danik scores well from all 3 levels. He is a already developed shooter. Just didn't make that second free throw.
Yeah, the free throw stroke really isn't there for him, but the mid-range jumper is from the elbow. So which is kind of an interesting dynamic.
Give
nice
it to Ray,
finish.
and 1.
Nice finish there against Mark Vance. Isaiah Ray.
Isaiah Ray, the sophomore at the line. Now 8 minutes into the second half. Central had a really nice early run. Gordon State starting to chip away at it.
Steadying the ship a bit. Ray has been really aggressive up underneath. The second possession in a row, he's drawn a foul as we see J.J. Washai get his first minutes of the night.
And it makes sense a lot of times physically when Central's struggling with a big man. They'll put Washai in, try to calm things down, and put in another big body to bang around down low.
He's a really big kid, and when you get guys that are getting in foul trouble, you got to go a little bit deeper into the rotation.
Central's not had a problem with that. 12 guys on the roster, 9 freshmen. They like to use pretty much all of them. We've seen everyone today. Arrow White spots up. He's been scoreless on the day.
Yeah, White trying to force it a little bit there after the big game he had last Saturday.
Yeah, 14 or 15 points then. Terrell sinks it from deep.
Wow.
Wow.
What a tough shot by Terrell. That's a big shot there, too. Kind of a bit of a gut punch for Gordon State, who is by no means out of this game. They're still hanging around, but kicking it back out to a double-digit lead for Central Georgia Tech.
Terrell from not just behind the three-point line, but about 5 feet behind it. Knocking that one down.
And with a defender standing right there.
Nothing you can do about that if you're the Highlanders.
Montavious Terrell from Tifton. Tifton, Georgia, or Tift County, a heck of a basketball tradition down there. They always have excellent programs. And Montavious Terrell is no exception.
Baker inbounding for Gordon out of the timeout into a full court press. Ray gonna dribble himself against Washai. Ray in the low post, banging against Washai, and he gets it to fall.
Man, a nice rip through, putting the defender on his back and just using leverage. Ray, by no means a small guy, but a bit undersized in the height department for a post player, but really just savvy play up underneath. Yeah, savvy and physical.
Where was that in the first half?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Spencer left it short again. Here's his third attempt. He is hacked by Ray.
Spencer using Ray's a little bit of his technique against him, leaning back into him, keeping the ball away from him and drawing the foul.
Druid Spencer at the line. First free throw good. His brother and teammate Justin Spencer not available today for Central. Truett Spencer sinks a free throw. He's been really good overall, but especially, like I mentioned earlier, in the second halves of games, seems to take him a little bit of time to settle in, but once he gets going on the offensive side, it's been really tough to stop.
Spencer, the sophomore, with 5 points on the day.
Baker defended by Terrell, who committed that foul.
Baker's been really physically aggressive. You see Gordon State has somewhat of a size advantage against some of these guards from Central Georgia Tech.
Baker went face up on Terrell. Now after the rebound, Danik with an easy 2.
Tough play by Danik there to go in there and get the offensive rebound. Truett Spencer, not the biggest guy on the floor, but pound for pound, one of the strongest. Danik able to rip the ball away from him and get the easy bucket underneath.
White trapped Hickman, touched it. He gets it back. 7 on the shot clock for Hickman, who's fouled. 2 shots upcoming.
May have gotten bailed out a bit there. There was contact, but I really thought that was about to be a jump ball call.
Yeah, it looked like A lot of ball from Ray. Now Ray has racked up 3 fouls here.
Maybe that's why the spurts were sparing in the first half. We didn't see a lot of the production that he's had so far in the second half.
He's racked up a couple in the past 90 seconds of play.
Scott and Pierce back in the game for Central Georgia Tech.
Hickman left it short.
Gordon fortunate to come away with that defensive rebound.
Danik on the block. Outside to Hill. Foul on the floor. It'll be on Ray, I think.
Looks like
no, it's on Washai. Interesting.
Look like two guys boxing out hard for a rebound to me, but
maybe Washai gave it a little too much down low. This is an interesting possession as Ray is called for a travel.
I don't know if that's a ball don't lie situation, but it evened out.
Well, whenever those two battle one-on-one, it's going to be interesting. They both look like pretty raw talents on the block. Pierce saves it.
It's another one of those senseless turnovers.
Hill goes back up, and second chance points off turnovers for Gordon State.
Chris Dawson's not going to be happy with the smallest guy on the floor getting an offensive rebound and easy putback after a turnover.
Not even really contested on that second shot attempt. Scott works his way, and he is fouled.
Scott continues to do an excellent job of forcing the issue and getting to the rim.
He's been sticking to Central's game plan today, trying to get inside, get those buckets, and one of the other things for the Titans team coming in is they wanted to try to get some fouls on the big men for Gordon State and try to make them play a little softer than they would want to, and they've done that here in the second half against Ray. They've not done it against Danik. Danik's been really just overall solid, but they've gotten that against Ray.
Yeah, you read my mind, actually. I was going to point that out. Danik only has 2 fouls despite having at least 4 blocks. We don't have that in front of us right now, but has played really physical and done an excellent job of not fouling underneath.
Baker and Scott. There's an open floor for Baker. He dumps it off to Ray, who's defended by Washai and fouled.
If Ray can get baseline and get that left shoulder into you while he goes up with his right hand, that is really his go-to. And he does it every single time. But, hey, if they're not stopping it, keep going to it.
Ray has got 5 points now after the free throw. Washai has got a couple of fouls. I don't know if he'll be in the game too much longer with the way Ray has been going on the offensive side.
Well, that might be part of the reason they put him in there is Washai, the young guy who can, he's also a big guy, can take a lot of punishment, and maybe just want to put a bigger body on the physical Ray. Gordon with a man press trying to trap in the back court.
Rifled over to Scott.
Nice find, but good recovery by Gordon State, getting back after pressing.
Terrell having a look around. Scott, 4 on the shot clock, lays it in.
Just too big. Was able to put that shoulder into the defender, Hayes, and move him out of the way.
That's more of the same from Isaiah Scott. They're doing that all day long. Hill working against Terrell, contested jumper. Rebounded and put back in by Gordon.
Another easy rebound and putback has been a theme. And another silly turnover. Although I will say, on this occasion, I got to give Gordon State some credit for forcing the issue on defense. Looked like Pierce tried to essentially hand the ball over the line to Terrell, which is a turnover 10 out of 10 times.
7:40 to play in this one. A conference matchup between these two teams. Gordon State on even 3-3 in conference play. Central 1-4 at this point. They're just coming off their first conference win, an overtime win. They split against Albany Tech. These two teams will match up. It'll be on the road at Gordon State. Three-pointer wide open, doesn't go. Ray with an offensive rebound, and he gets it to fall.
Offensive rebounds are keeping Gordon State within striking distance here in the second half.
That is for sure. Now Truett Spencer's at the table. He'll be set to check in. Central's in a bit of an offensive drought. They'll need one of their sophomores to come back as Pierce looking nice on the right side.
Making you look smart.
Gotta look to those sophomores when you need a bucket. Pierce, Spencer, Terrell for Central, the only three. Hill, top of the key, bingo.
There's a time for him to come on. Now is it. 13 points.
Hill now leading the Gordon State team. A couple of guys in double figures. Terrell off the window, beat Hill. And stares him down and gets a talk from the referee. Timeout called, 6:23 left to go in the game. 64-57 our score. We'll be back with more. You are watching Junior College Basketball. (64-57), the home team Titans ahead and full court pressing on Gordon State here to begin out of the timeout. Ray now being defended like he was last possession by Osaba.
Osaba did an excellent job of making Ray go to his left, and that was a much lower percentage shot than we've seen Ray take and go into his right.
Pierce taking it to Gordon State in the lane that time for a bucket.
Tough bucket there for Pierce. Another timeout on the floor. Gordon State talking it over.
Well, they came out of the timeout. The offensive possession was on the sloppier side, and Central came right back down and scored, so they got to take another one, trying to straighten things out. Full timeout this time.
Yeah, I guarantee you the coaches had a conversation with whoever's guarding Ray, try to keep him off of his right hand, and sure enough, he drove left, and he drove fine, but the shot just was not a high percentage shot. I'm not saying he can't finish on the left side, but if you're Central Georgia Tech, you're going to make him do it. And now we're swag surfing.
25 seconds left in this full timeout here. Look at some stats for you. Almany Drame for Central, 17 points. Isaiah Scott, 13. Hickman and Pierce both have 8. Montavious Terrell, 7 for Gordon State. Janiel Hill, 13. Destin Jenkins, 11. Danak has 8. Isaiah Ray has 8. Trenton Gordon has 7. Very balanced between these teams. It's not like one guy has done it all, but the big one for Central has been Drame, who we've not seen a ton of in the past 5-10 minutes of play.
Yeah, 17 points on the day. He's been super effective, not doing anything really spectacular, letting the game come to him and getting the buckets that are there.
Osaba bumped a man inside. Gordon's going to be at the free throw line as both of our teams are now in the bonus.
Yeah, Trenton Gordon headed to the line for Gordon State. He's got 7 points on the day, 3 for 4 from the line.
In and out on the free throw on the front half of the 1-and-1. Pierce has an opening on the right side. Wow, he got demolished.
He really did.
Wow.
And was able to kind of almost bait Ray into the foul while he was in the air. Ray had really a chance. Listen, I think Ray is kind of a bull in the China shop. He's a very, very powerful guy and just got a little bit overly aggressive when Pierce was in the air there. And bailed him out by throwing him on the ground.
I heard that smack from up here. He just nailed his shoulder.
Unfortunately, Pierce seems to be okay.
Wow. Yeah, shook that off real well. Ray with the rebound. Now there's pros and cons to the bull in the China shop. We've seen a lot of pros as well from Ray. He's a good-looking player down low.
It also was his 4th foul. 5 minutes here to go. He's been pretty effective with 8 points here in the second half.
Ray's got it. Now with the teams in the bonus, the free throws become more important. Got a comment from Antonio Sears saying continue to make him pay for the fouls for Central as Hill doesn't get the 3. Central has shot 15 of 18 from the free throw line today.
Sears, where you at, man? You're supposed to be up here at the game, not online commenting.
Well, we're glad to have you with us.
Shout out to Antonio Sears, one of my co-workers. Lovely young man.
Scott tiptoes his way to stay inbound. Oh, he missed the layup.
You gotta finish it, young man.
Scott tiptoed. He had a spin move. You know, Scott loves to go to his spin move. That seems to be a go-to. Just didn't get the layup.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back.
Gordon on the left side. It rolls in.
Nice pass there from Ray to Gordon. Again, they still force Ray to his left side. He was able to get the assist to Gordon, but he doesn't seem to be as comfortable when he has to drive with that left hand.
Scott short after his own rebound. Hickman keeps it in play.
Nice save by Hickman there. Scott forcing the issue a little bit too early in the shot clock.
Scott's got it again.
That's what he wants to do.
There it is. Scott with a 2-pointer to make it a 10-point game. 3:44 to go. You are watching junior college basketball on the Titans YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. More coming around the corner. We are back. 3:44 to go in the game. It's a 10-point game. Central trying to continue their run and forge a little bit of a winning streak in conference play. Hill puts it up.
Hill has 13 points, but the Titans defense has really done a nice job on a guy who's averaging over 20 points a game so far this season.
That's the brand of ball that the Titans have played historically in the past 10 years under Coach Dawson. Continuing that today. Terrell, Spencer way down low. A man jumps on top of him, and he is headed to the stripe.
Yes, Spencer, nice pass, first of all, from Terrell to find Spencer cutting to the basket, and Spencer able to get Gordon in the air. Gordon comes up with a foul underneath, his second.
Truitt's at the free throw line, one of the top 2 returning scorers on this team from a year ago. Didn't get the first free throw there.
So it was not a shooting foul.
Ray now on Drame. It's another matchup down low.
Nice job by Drame underneath.
That time McDonald fouled on the shot. 2 coming for him at the charity stripe.
Titans have done a great job and continued to do a good job by Drame on that possession to force Ray to his left. But Ray, one thing I'll say about Ray, the adjustment that he has made is he is passing out of the Titans adjustments and getting looks for his teammates, and we've seen him do that a couple of times offensively.
Free throw made, now a 9-point game. Substitution coming in Jenkins. He had 11 in the first half. He's got 11 now.
Has not been a strong half for Jenkins.
Ray is off the floor.
Definitely got off to a hot start. We'll see if Gordon tries to trap here at half court. Looks like they're going to back off.
Terrell's usually a pretty sound ball handler anyways for Central. Pierce testing Jenkins out with a jumper.
Not really a high percentage shot there. One that Pierce can certainly knock down, but Coach Dawson likes to see more passes on an offensive possession, generally speaking.
Hayes was fouled on a trip to the bucket for Gordon State. He'll be shooting a pair.
Hayes scoreless so far today, has yet to attempt a field goal.
Missing on the first free throw. We're seeing Gordon State go a little deeper into their bench here. One thing that we've seen is a better energy level from Central throughout this game, playing with confidence. Second free throw is made, but in practice yesterday, shoot around earlier today, Coach Dawson said the team looked energized, had a fresh vibe to them, feeling very good. And that's continued from Saturday's game into today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they were on a losing streak where it had not won a conference game yet, and then were able to come up with a win against the #1 team in the conference. But having a little bit of trouble getting the ball inbounded. Destin Jenkins tipping the ball away on the last 2 passes. 2:19 here to go, 8-point game.
Terrell sizing up Gordon. Now he switched on to Danak. Terrell working on Danak, blocked away.
Nice job by Danak keeping his feet, moving with the smaller, quicker guard. I don't know, that's either his 5th or 25th block of the game. But he's really been giving the Titans trouble up underneath.
Well, Terrell likes to slice and dice. He's got good handles. He got a step on Danak, but with that length, it's tough to score on.
Danak didn't fall for any of the jabs or pump fakes while he was in the air. Very calmly swatted the ball away. Nice pass.
Rifled into Pierce for a bucket.
Excellent find there by Truitt Spencer. Oh, that was close to a carry.
Inside to Gordon, foul called. It's on the floor. That'll It'll be on Spencer.
Spencer doing all he could against the bigger Gordon, trying to use his body underneath, ends up displacing him, going to send him to the line.
Under 2 minutes to play, a 10-point game, but the road team, the Highlanders here of Gordon State, are in the double bonus. That'll be helping them along the way. Gordon, who plays for Gordon, hits both free throws.
Gordon continuing to press, just trying to force turnovers.
They've kept a lot of intensity throughout the entire game on the defensive side. Central's given them some opportunities through turnovers. They've just not really shot it that well today.
See what Terrell does with it here. Got 3 on him.
Terrell, 2 on the shot clock. Hickman couldn't get it.
Really was a nice find by Terrell as Pierce goes down.
Hayes tries to lob it up. Hickman rips it away.
Got a 5-on-1 break here.
Hickman, Terrell, Pierce cleans it up. Under a minute to play. It's a 10-point game, Craig. Things looking good for the home Titans.
Yeah, you don't see 5-on-1 breaks very often. Titans able to finish after 1 miss, and looks like this foul's going to go against Drame.
Danix at the free throw line. Drame with a career high today, 17.
Danik yet to hit a free throw tonight. Again, we've seen him have a pretty nice stroke from the elbow, but got that one to go. Rattled around a little bit.
Reverse jinx.
Yeah.
But now 1 of 5 for Danak on the day at the stripe. Otherwise, nothing to really nitpick about for him. He's been very good. For Gordon State, it's been a pretty solid team performance. They're down 8 here to Central, but the Titans are really showing what their potential can be this year.
Scoring really spread out. I mean, we talked about Hill before the game, averaging over 20. He only has 13, but they have now with that free throw, they have 4 guys in double figures with Gordon, Jenkins, and Danik with 11, 11, and 10 respectively. So, and then we've seen Isaiah Ray come on in the second half. Even though he's gotten in foul trouble, he's got 4 fouls now. We'll see. I wonder if we'll see him here in the last minute of the game. But he has 8 points in the second half alone. So Gordon State really doing a good job of spreading the ball around. And, you know, they're not in a great spot, but this game is not over. Well, we saw against Albany Tech last weekend how you can stretch just the last 5 seconds of a game out. It was a bit of a chess match between the coaching staffs there, and so we could definitely potentially see that here today, especially if Gordon State can continue to press the issue in the backcourt as the Titans try to inbound it here. If they can cause a couple of turnovers, get a couple of easy buckets, there is enough time left on the clock for them to work with.
In terms of pretty much every number on the board, it's very even between the two teams, but free throw percentage for Central, 15 of 19 today. Very good. One of their better marks of the season, and that's been a huge part of why they're at a comfortable point offensively in this game.
Gordon State only 13 of 25 in that respect, and really you could say perhaps the difference in this ball game. Central running some clock here on offense.
Drame fouled. He'll be going to the line for 1 and 1.
Yep. Really kind of the way you would, if you're Central Georgia Tech, that's the way you would want that possession to go. Dribble the clock out and then head to the line with a guy who hasn't missed a free throw yet today.
Drame 7 for 7 from the line, 18 points. You've seen him get in the 7, 8, 9 point category, but nothing near as dominant as today, and it started ever since we tipped off. He was really good right from the bat, right off the bat. Quick three-pointer made from McDonald. Timeout immediately called by Gordon State.
So that's the bucket that you needed there. Drame only hit 1 of 2, which bails you out a little bit and gives you just an inkling of a window. With it being a 6-point game now, it's a 2-possession game. A couple of steals, a couple of threes. You don't really need a 3 at this point. I would assume with the guys that they have on the team that can make 3s, that's probably what they're going to go for. But if you can get a quick layup, it's still just a 2-possession game.
6 points separating the teams here. It's a full timeout taken. Gordon State wanted that full one to talk things over. You've got to come out of this timeout defensively in good position. I guess you send Central to the line here.
We'll see if they try to. They're definitely going to foul if Central is able to get the ball inbounded. But ideally, as you see Central putting more free throw shooters on the floor, pretty much all guards outside of Drame, the forward. Drame is 6 of 7 from the line.
It's into Hickman. Terrell takes a couple more seconds off the clock. Now, a note for you, there is no shot clock for the remainder of this game. 24 seconds to go.
Yep, so 24 left, and Central Georgia Tech can really make free throws. Hitting one here will make it a 3-possession game. You can really shoot your way to a victory here.
Well, and from here on out, you don't see it on the scoreboard yet, but both teams are in the double bonus, 2 shots no matter what. Now you see it up there.
That's right. Both teams shooting from here on out. And Terrell missed the first one, so this is a big free throw here. Could push it to a 3-possession game. Terrell with a big shot on Saturday, hits that one.
Showing a little bit of that clutch gene that we've seen from him. Hill dishes it off. 3-pointer coming from Hayes. It goes.
Nice bucket there, 15 seconds. There really is still time. Still a 2-possession game.
Well, that free throw from Terrell was big. He will head to the line again.
Terrell wanting the 3 shots there.
Smart play.
I appreciate the try, but does not get the call. And the last 2 possessions here, Gordon State has basically traded a free throw for a couple of 3-pointers, and you'll take that trade every time. It's a 6-2 run on a 4-point game here, and really no matter what happens with Terrell, 14 seconds left, it's going to be a 2-possession game, barring an offensive rebound. And I don't think the offensive rebound is going to happen because Coach Dawson doesn't have anybody underneath on the block.
Have to be a heck of a rebound off of a free throw.
Again, the Titans make just one. Got to go fast here if you're Gordon State.
5-point game. Now it's 7 seconds on the clock. Hill trying to manage the ball. Step back, lofts up a 3.
Nice defense by Hickman, and that'll end the game. Really took too much time there to get a shot off if you're Gordon State.
You've got to go down and get that shot up in under 4 or 5 seconds if you want a chance at it.
Yeah, just again, excellent job by the Titans overall, but on that possession, Hickman did an excellent job defending. As we've talked about, Hill, the top scorer on the team, has been held to just 13 points tonight as Terrell heads to the line.
Yeah, and we mentioned that as much as we have because it's a big deal. Nobody's really been able to shut him down, but Central has found the answer here.
And I think the name of the game is length. I believe Montavious Terrell got a technical foul for, instead of passing the ball back to the official, he shot it, which...
He made it.
Yeah, he did make it the second time. A bit of a silly play for Terrell as we see Hill continue to struggle. He is visibly frustrated. Has not been a typical game for Hill as he misses both free throws. Montavious Terrell still has another free throw to go here, and there is a half a second here to go. As an official, you have to call that technical foul, but These guys all have drives home. You know they didn't want to, but if the evaluators get this film and you don't call that technical foul, it's a problem. I don't think that one would have counted anyway.
Well, that's it here from Macon, Georgia. 77-71 our score. Montavious Terrell with that last made free throw joins the double figures club. Both teams had 4 guys in doubles, led by Almany Drame of Central Georgia Technical, who had 18 points, 4 rebounds. Our player of the game today. Craig, your final thoughts?
Just big play by Drame, taking what comes to him. Isaiah Scott, highly aggressive going to the basket with 15 points tonight. Dominique Pierce, like you talked about before the game, as we see Montavious Terrell doing some bear crawls for that technical foul at the end. You know, 10 points on the night for Terrell. Not the finish that you wanted to see there, but Dominique Pierce really letting the game come to him. We're starting to see these sophomores kind of take this team and mold it and allowing these young guys to grow into the offense and just a continued excellent defensive effort by Central Georgia Tech as they notch their second conference win of the 2021 season.
That is for sure. Central now moves to 2-4 in conference play. Gordon State dropping to 3-4. 77-71, our final. Central wins. For Craig Lawson, I'm Luke Winstall. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been a presentation of the Central Georgia Technical Titans YouTube channel.